What up, gang? I'm back again. This is part two of the Chip Kelly Q&A. Okay, Mike B, 2015. If you replace Chip Kelly, what would your first 5 moves be? If I replace Chip Kelly, the first move I would make, and this is starting next season, I will be looking at the draft, the top offensive linemen, and the top quarterback prospects. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to have a top 10 pick. First thing I would do is look at the quarterback that best suits the offense I'm trying to run. Boom. Now, quarterback, top offensive lineman. Now, whichever one is available by the time I pick, I will pick them. But that's my 1 and 2. So if I got to pick the quarterback first, my second move would be the offensive lineman. If I got to pick the offensive lineman first, my second move would be quarterback. Now, the third move I would make, Josh Huff to the slot, Jordan Matthews to the outside. And of course, Nelson Aguilar will probably be my starter on the other side of Jordan Matthews. But a big guy like Jordan Matthews got to play on the outside. Like, that slot disadvantage is not really working too much. Put that big man on the outside. Let Josh Huff play the slot, because Josh Huff, he seems like, he's real, like, feisty. Like, he'll talk trash about another team and all. That's the kind of guy you want in the slot. Jordan Matthews is like, he's a stand-up guy, But he's a big dude. Put him on the outside. Let him run against the best corners in the league. And let Huff reap havoc in the slot. My fourth move would be pick 2 linebackers. 2 starters. Let them play. The first linebacker, I think DeMeco signed for another year. I wouldn't cut DeMeco. I would let DeMeco play that middle linebacker and groom the next middle linebacker. But the second guy, out of Kiko, out of Kendricks, out of Jordan Hicks, whichever one of them guys come out on top, get the starting job. The second best guy get the backup job. The third best guy get the other backup job. So if Jordan Hicks wins the starting spot, then you put Kendricks behind DeMeco. Well, he'll probably be our middle linebacker after next season anyway. So you let him play behind DeMeco. DeMeco's an older guy, so. And that's my 4th move. My 5th move would be, I wouldn't say wide receiver is our priority just yet, but I would probably get me, a nice 4th receiver. You know what I'm saying? And those would be my 5 moves. Because if you look at the safeties, man, the safeties is alright. I can make that a tandem. But, you can also sign, like, Thurman to an extension, sign Jenkins to an extension. Those are the guys you have here already. So you have time to do that. But those would be my first 5 moves as far as, like, what I do with the draft and with the team. Contracts and all of that, those can get worked out, you know what I'm saying, like during the off season and everything. So of course, during the off season, I'll be looking at who should I re-sign and this, that, and the third. But as far as moves I would make, you know what I'm saying. So that's that. Y'all got some crazy questions, man. Luke Bass 7. What coach do you think will best fit Philadelphia Chip leagues? Sean Payton. Sean Payton, definitely. That's my number 1. Not really coaxing nobody out of retirement, maybe, but Sean Payton, definitely. I would love to have him here. But we got to get him away from New Orleans. Jack Rubel 5. Do you think what all those former players said about Chip Kelly being a racist has any effect on the players now and the locker room atmosphere? They just don't look motivated to play for him. I don't think what they said about him being a racist has anything to do with how the players are playing now. I just think the players are tired of having an egotistical coach that thinks it's my way or the highway, and then even when his way not working, he's still just going to keep doing the same thing. Like, how many times do you have to tell Chip Kelly, like, your offense not, time of possession matters. Your offense has to complement your defense. Like, you can't keep putting guys out there and just expecting them to run 40 minutes a game. They wear down, and eventually, like, you'll see a coach like changing the game plan up for the better of his guys. But when you constantly looking at the coach and he's just like, no, we're just gonna play the way I want to play, and as simple as that. Like, that even can boil down to, just being a child and your parents saying that. I mean, I know you gotta listen to your parents, but after a while, that little like, you like, well, come on, man, like, you killing me. You know what I mean? So I don't really think him being a racist really has nothing to do with the players and how they're playing now. I just think they're tired of, like, having a basic mediocre coach. Like, you want us to play 40 minutes a game for you, but, like, it's okay that we getting blown out. It's okay that the offense is getting 3 and outs in 40 seconds. And you just want to constantly run us out there. Like, you putting us at risk for big injuries, fatigue, everything. Like, we're supposed to be burning teams out. And you're burning your own defense out, sending us out there. So I just think they're tired of his ways. Like, he's not a player's coach. They say he don't even speak to the players when he walk past them and everything. Like, it's just like you got a coach here that don't really give a shit. It's just my way or the highway. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's taking its toll on the players. It's like, now we're all looking bad and you're just still doing the same shit. Like, eventually they get tired of it. Savage Hawk said, bro, I think we should trade Chip for another head coach. Yeah, me too, bro. Straight up. All tatted up. In the 3 years under Chip Kelly, I have yet to see a quarterback in our offense audible. Even if there's 7 in the box and we have 5 linemen, we still run right into a mismatch. Do you think the quarterbacks are allowed to switch the play based on their view of the defense? No, they're not. You know what I mean? They just run the plays Chip Kelly call. And, like, that boils down to what I said in my first video about him, like, not opening the rest of that playbook because he don't have the guy that he wants to run his offense. So I just think he kept that playbook under wraps. And he just saying, just run the basic shit. I'm probably going to get fired anyway. So, I mean, I'm not going to why would I put my whole offense out there for the world to see and then go coach another NFL team and you got a million loads of film on me and how I run my full-fledged offense. So I just think without the mobile quarterback ever being here that he needed, he just hid the rest of his playbook. And I think that's just what he's doing now, running a predictable offense, to not expose what his true offense really looks like and not having his mobile guy. So, but I don't think they had the authority to audible or none of that. I don't think they teach that in practice. All I think Chip Kelly really teaches in practice is tempo. And that's it. Like, it's not a NFL offense. It's just simple as that. Like, so I really think, like, they're not allowed to audible. They just gotta run the play that's called. You know what I mean? Boils down to Chip ego. That's just how he is. Echo 23. Will he really adjust to the player and change his system to win? That remains to be seen, man. Because like I said, one thing I will say in his defense is he needs that mobile quarterback, and it's obvious. I mean, Sam Bradford's not mobile. Mark Sanchez is mobile, but he doesn't play like a mobile quarterback. Like, he doesn't run, keep the ball in the zone read or the read option. Like, he just chooses not to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. But will he adjust? Let's say we get Kaepernick. I don't think he really would have to adjust. I just think he will open up his playbook. And then you'll see a whole different type of offense for a little while. But when they come and they game plan for you after watching film, and they're locking down all of the plays you call, are you going to make the necessary adjustments? And I don't think he's that type of coach. So I don't think he'll ever adjust to the players and change his system. I mean, I think we've seen Chip Kelly at his peak when we made the playoffs in the first year. Honest to God. Man, these are a lot of questions. My man, Coach Bryce 7. Do you think that Chip has lost the locker room? I'm hearing and seeing reports that he has. What do you think, Bud? Definitely, man. I think the locker room is just done with him. I mean, you're gonna have a couple players that's still gonna put their pride, you know what I'm saying, put their pride first and you really go out there and try to perform for the coach, not everybody gives up on you in the locker room. I mean, but as I stated before, man, like my faith is no longer in the coach. My faith is in them players. Are they going to come together and, really play for the fans instead of this guy, even if he lost the locker room? But I think he lost the locker room, man. I don't never really think he had the locker room, honestly. Because, you never seen Chip Kelly giving a motivational speech after the game, before the game, like Andy Reid used to do. He's just not that type of guy. So I never really think he had that locker room. It's kind of like a father-son relationship where your dad don't show you no emotion. And he always saying, no, be a man. Be a man. Like, I can't hug you and kiss you and do da-da-da-da. Like, I never really think he had the locker room. I just thought he had, like, a team that played. You know what I'm saying? And it was a while where they did have faith in him. Like Jenkins had faith in him. Like, now, I really think he lost the locker room, though. And I think he won't get them guys back because he's too stubborn to put his ego to the side. But I really think he lost the locker room, bro, to be honest with you. Dante 2828. Do you think if Chip finds players to fit his offense and run it the way it should be, that he has the potential to win us a Super Bowl? I think he does. But even with the proper offense, you got to understand something. In the NFL, defenses adjust to your offense quick. So you got to have counter punches. You got to have adjustments. You got to be on top of, audibles. You got to be on top of switching the play. You got to be on top of changing the game plan if the one you originally had not working in your favor. And that's the real reason why I'm not a Chip Kelly fan no more. Because he just doesn't do that. Like, it's like, run this play. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, run this play. Like, he never sits down and says, okay, they're obviously keying on the running back. Let's move the running back out into the passing game. That way it gives that linebacker, it doesn't give that linebacker an opportunity to catch up to him. Like, he doesn't really do that. He just runs a basic offense and he just sticks with the game plan. Like I said, I just think he's all tempo, all fast pace, and don't care about shit else. And that's just the type of offense he's going to run, whether he getting 3 and outs or whether he's scoring touchdowns. But honestly, I think if he puts together the proper offense, he has to swallow his pride and really sit down and game plan. Because I really don't think he games plans for these teams. I just think he said they're not going to be able to keep up with my fast pace. So we're going to use our game plan we always use. But he really has to swallow his pride and become that coach that really loves his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I do more work on the Eagles during the week than Chip Kelly does. And I'm just a fan that runs the Instagram page. But I mean, it's a possibility, man, but it's a lot of things he has to do along with getting the proper offense. Like, it's not just about putting that offense out there. You got to establish a real game plan. Hey, Mikey, do you think letting McCoy, Maclin, and Jackson walk was as big a mistake and cost Chip Kelly from having his perfect offense? I don't think letting them go really cost him his perfect offense. I think that letting them go and not setting your offense up properly after they were gone is what killed his perfect offense. Like, his first mistake, okay, you cut Deshaun Jackson. Maclin duplicated Deshaun Jackson's stats. You cut Shady. Murray's not duplicating Shady's stats. You let Maclin walk. No receiver on the team is duplicating Maclin's stats. So it looks like a mistake per se that he let them go. But what people don't realize is it's the other things he did that messed up this offense. Like cutting Evan Mathis and not finding a valuable enough replacement. Like Allen Barber next to Peters is not Mathis next to Peters. Your most important thing should have been setting up that offensive line. If you were gonna cut guys and release guys, you're supposed to get valuable fits. Now, when free agency started, I said sign Mike Iupati from the 49ers. Everybody said he's more an offensive lineman for the run game. He's not a pass protector and da 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 da. Okay, well, what's the biggest weakness on our offense? The run game. This is why I said sign him, because if you're gonna put Murray behind him, needless to say, I don't think Murray was I don't think Murray was brought up then. I don't think Murray was in hindsight back then. I think I said that right when free agency started. Murray came like later. But if you're going to build the offensive line, man, you put veterans there that can adapt quicker. Like, you can't put backups there and expect them to adapt. Like Andrew Gardner, he's not Todd Hermans. He's not Mike Iupati. You know what I'm saying? Alan Barber could have been the right guard. Or Alan Barber could have been the left guard and you put Iupati at right guard. Or you could put Iupati next to Jason Peters and put... It's a lot easier to fix your offensive line with one replacement than two. He's arrogant. He cut Evan Mathis. He cut Todd Hermans. He thought he could plug in two backups. And now look at the offensive line. So I don't think letting go of Macklin and all them, he could have still had the same offense. But if you look at even the receivers, none of them are, like, the only valuable replacement really is Matthews right now. Huff has his potential, but letting them go wasn't really a big mistake on his behalf. It was arrogant because he didn't replace them properly. And it all starts with them 5 guys up front. So I don't really think he thought his offensive line would be like this inconsistent. But like I said, he's real arrogant. You cut Evan Mathis, the best left guard in the NFL. You need like a top-notch left guard. You know what I'm saying? But dad named Dave. Why are we still allowing him to steal a paycheck? That's on Lurie, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just fans that's frustrated, but Lurie make all them decisions. So I don't know what he's gonna do, but Jacob Steiner 999. Do you think he would get traded? If that trade's still on the table at the end of the year and we actually land us a top 10 pick, yeah, I think they'll double down and grab 2 and get rid of him. But it all depends, like I said, it all depends on what's going on behind the scenes. Like, you can't just cut Chip Kelly and think you're going to have a replacement. You got to make sure that replacement play is in play. Like when Andy Reid got fired, Kansas City knew that they had Andy Reid in the bag. They knew he was going to get fired. And they knew they was going to hand him his GM responsibilities like he had here. That was all set up. So when he left with a smile on his face and went into another good situation. It's not like that here now. Like, you don't know who Lurie might bring in. You don't know who Lurie got his eyes on. So, like, I'm not going to say he'll get traded, but if they offering a first-round pick and Lurie can see that we done all we could do with Chip Kelly and his stubbornness and all won't change this team, yeah, I think we'll pull the plug on that trade. Matt Watt 609. How much of an impact is the lack of the read option affecting the offense this year? And what do you think of Oklahoma's quarterback Mayfield as a fit for the Eagles? I don't know. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not really into college football like that. So I would have to check up on the Mayfield guy. And I'm even hearing about this other guy. I forgot his damn name. But everybody keep throwing him out there. And I watch highlights on him. Because the college football games come on while I'm at work. So I can't ever really watch them. But I'm going to definitely look into that. But as far as the read option, definitely affecting the offense. And the saddest part about it is, it doesn't even have to really affect the offense as bad as it is. It's just the quarterbacks don't keep the ball. Like, Bradford's not going to be a read option quarterback. But Sanchez, one thing I liked about him over Bradford was that he had the legs to actually make plays in the read option. But he never keeps the ball. Like, and I've been saying this since last season on my videos last season. Like, he never keeps the ball. So it's not like, it's wide open too. If you look at him, he don't pull that ball back. The whole defense follows the running back. You never see Sanchez keep the ball. So, I mean, the lack of it is affecting our offense because it's the quarterback's decision making, man. Like, he just doesn't keep the ball. But Let me see. These are a lot of questions. Zazalak 709. Why do you think he doesn't change anything in his offense? It really seems he doesn't make the needed adjustments against defenses to make plays and score. Said it once, I say it again. I just think he never had the quarterback he needed, and he just tucked that playbook away and just kept it basic. I just don't think he want to expose what he really has in his playbook for defenses to have a whole offseason to game plan against it. Whereas if he does end up somewhere next year, they know how to game plan because they seen his full-fledged offense. I just think he said, fuck us, fuck the fans, and I'm only going to run 8 or 9 plays out of this playbook. I'm not going to waste these plays if I don't have a quarterback I want. And that's honest to God. Not even an accusation. I just really, really felt in my heart since last season that he never opened up the rest of that playbook and on purpose. I just think he tucked it away. Now, Easy Does It 716. Are you trying to do what Jim Johnson did with the Cowboys in the 90s? Kinda. I don't have no clue, bro. It's hard to tell what Chip Kelly doing in his head, man. But honestly, it's not helping us none because we look bad. So, I mean, if that's what he's trying to do, then he'll never admit it. Now, we got DP Fist 10. Will Chip adjust his system to the strengths of his players? For example, running Murray from under center and in between the tackles where he excels most. Okay, I got a lot of other questions, so I'm actually going to have to do 3 of these videos. But this is the last one I'm going to answer. No, I don't think he will, man. I just think Chip Kelly, you know how you have that person, right? Everybody that comes in, regardless of their strengths, regardless of their weaknesses, you say you're going to do things my way or it's the highway. It's like, you're taking everybody, putting them in a box and making them do whatever they got to do inside of that box to make it work. As opposed to taking every player, analyzing every player, realizing like what that player's strength, how that player's strengths and weaknesses will affect your offense in a positive or a negative way, and then establishing a game plan. Like, I'm pretty sure he knows the strengths and weaknesses of all of his players, but I just think he's the type of coach that says, no, you're going to run in my offense the way I want to. Like, because everybody done said running Murray out of the shotgun ain't a good thing because Murray, that's not Murray's strength. Run Murray with the quarterback from under center. He does it once in a while, but I think he's so egotistical that even if he does make adjustments, he'll have to admit failure, so to speak, and actually bend and break and actually do what people been telling him, trying to pound in his head. Like, he's one of them guys. Like, he don't want to admit that other people right. He want to always be right. So I just think he stacks a bunch of players into his offense and makes them run the offense the way he want to. And even if they sitting there like, coach, that's not what I do. That's not my strength. Like, I'm not a slot receiver. I belong on the outside. Well, you're going to stay in the slot. Or I'm not a running back. But then again, like Murray got $40 million, so to run in Chip Kelly offense. So saying Murray is better with the quarterback on the center, yeah, that's true. But Murray knew that. Murray knew we ran the spread offense. Like I said, he took the money. So I mean, but yeah, you ain't gotta really be a genius to know like what the player's strengths and weaknesses is. As fans, we just watch him like, oh, that's not his strong point. Why he have him doing that? Like Zach Ertz's strong point is mismatches. His speed, his size. He's not blocker like Selleck is. Selleck's strong point is blocking. So he uses them to their advantage. And then when teams not worried about Selleck, that's when Selleck have a breakout game. But He just stubborn with Murray, man. Like I don't understand it. Like Ryan Matthews is better suited to run out of the spread offense and out of the shotgun. Why do you have Murray here? You should have just signed Matthews, saved a lot of money, had a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean that all has to do with his ego, man. That's just the type of guy he is. But I'm gonna get into the next Q&A part 3. I got more questions than I thought I had.